Hello and welcome to the Whoniverse. In this video I'm going to be exploring a few theories and ideas I've had related to how the Master could potentially return. Now before I begin this video, I'd recommend watching the series finale of Doctor Who Series 10, World Enough and Time and the Doctor Falls, mainly because I'm going to be covering some of the major spoilers from the episodes. Good? Right, here's a quick recap of the relevant info. The Master is a renegade Time Lord, or Time Lady, as she also goes by the name of Missy in her most recent incarnation. Now throughout Series 10, Missy begins to realise how many lives she's ruined and how being evil might not be the way forward. This story arc reaches its climax in the series finale as Missy began the story by leading the Doctor's TARDIS team of Bill Potts and Nardole onto the deck of a spaceship on the edge of a black hole. During the adventure, Missy, portrayed by Michelle Gomez, encounters one of her past incarnations, the Saxon Master, portrayed by John Sim. Now last time we saw the Saxon version of the Master was in the two-part Christmas and New Year's Day special, The End of Time, which marked the end of the 10th Doctor's time in the TARDIS and saw the Master presumably returning to Gallifrey. In the Series 10 finale, the Saxon Master attempts to corrupt Missy, and at first it seems that he succeeds. However, after the Doctor gives a brilliant speech about kindness, Missy begins to change her mind. Then, when Missy and the Master are alone in the spaceship's internal forest, Missy realises she must stand with the Doctor, so tricks the Saxon Master, and stabs him between the ribs, in such a precise way that it leads to this incarnation's slow death. Because the Master is a Time Lord, he has the ability to regenerate. Knowing this, Missy helps him into the lift, where he can escape back to his own TARDIS. However, when her back is turned, the Saxon Master shoots Missy in the back with his laser screwdriver. Now the Master says don't bother trying to regenerate, you've got the full blast. If this statement is taken as true, this means the Saxon Master has injured Missy so much that her cells can't regenerate in time. Meaning, the Master has technically killed his future self. Overall, ending the life of one of the Doctor's enemies, just as she became his friend, killing the character of the Master, stone dead. So can the Master return? Firstly, let's look at a statement actress Michelle Gomez gave in an official BBC YouTube interview. In the interview, she says that it's done now. It's over. It's the end of a chapter. It's time for someone else to have a go. When speaking about her career on Doctor Who, I'll leave a link to the full interview in the description. The information from the interview means that if the Master does return, it won't be in the form of Michelle Gomez's Missy. Knowing this, it confirms that Missy's incarnation of the character at least is dead for now. With that said, the Master is a character who is famous for escaping death. The Missy incarnation cheated death in both the Series 8 finale and the Series 9 opening story. Is it possible that Missy was prepared for the Saxon Master's attack? How, you may ask? Well, this is where it gets complicated. Missy and the Saxon Master are the same person, just at different points in time. Time travelling to a point of meeting yourself leads to the past version's timeline not being synchronised, leading to them not retaining any memory of the event of meeting their future self. So Missy will remember meeting the Saxon Master, but the Saxon Master won't remember meeting Missy. Or will he? As in the farm's outbuilding earlier in the episode, the Saxon Master reveals his TARDIS had a broken dematerialisation circuit. Missy proceeds to grab him and tell him to always remember to carry a spare dematerialisation circuit. Missy then reaches into her pocket and retrieves a dematerialisation circuit, the circuit that she reminded her past self to carry. The fact that the Saxon Master remembered to carry the circuit does leave room for the idea that he might remember enough to try and save himself from death later on. As the Master, who always wants to survive and is a master of cheating death, knowing that he literally kills himself, might try to save his life when in the form of Missy. Now if this were true, chances are Missy did bring some sort of protection from the laser screwdriver. She would still end up regenerating though, to keep with the real-life reasoning of Michelle Gomez leaving the role of Missy. So if Missy did survive and regenerate, she would still have to find his or her way off the spaceship to escape further death by Cybermen. However, this theory of the Master's survival doesn't really answer how he or she would return, instead it answers how Missy could potentially survive, and if this idea is incorrect, we have to go back to the Saxon Master's quote, saying regenerating won't work, meaning that there will be no future incarnations past Missy. But what about the past? Firstly, let's look at the recent past, as Missy and the Saxon Master don't seem to be too clear on the matter of who regenerated into who, with the following dialogue. "So I imagine you're the next one along then?" asked the Master, as they sashay around the rooftop at the start of the episode. I think so," says Missy. "I'm a bit hazy on the whole regeneration thing, I'm afraid." So with this uncertainty from the characters, let's see what we can work out. Firstly, we know that for sure the Saxon Master is before Missy in the Master's personal timeline, as Missy recognises her past self and the Saxon Master doesn't remember being a woman, and is interested to know what it would be like. So, if Missy dies and the Saxon Master regenerates into her, doesn't that mark the end for the Master? Well, not necessarily, as we've never actually seen the Saxon Master's regeneration after he's stabbed. This, added to Missy's uncertainty, means that, perhaps, there are other incarnations to come after the Saxon incarnation, but before Missy. It wouldn't be the first time Stephen Moffat has sprung a previously unknown version of a Time Lord into the Doctor Who universe, and perhaps this is his parting gift to Chris Chibnall, who may want to create his own version of the character in many years to come. And, if this timeline was correct, then the new incarnation or incarnations would be before the revelation that Missy went through, so the Master would still be evil. So, this idea means the Master could return and would have room to do so, not only having at least one new body, but also this Master who would have the dematerialization circuit, meaning this Master would have a TARDIS, meaning he or she could return anywhere in the Doctor's personal timeline beyond the years of Missy's incarnation for the Doctor. Now, this idea could be wrong. If this idea is wrong, how else could the Master return? Well, we've looked at the recent past. What about the distant past? As the first incarnation of the Master we see on TV is portrayed by Roger Delgado. The Delgado Master is revealed to actually be at the end of the Time Lord's lifespan. This is the Master in his 13th incarnation, and this is the Master in the time of the Third Doctor, long before the events of Series 10. We know the Master survives beyond his 13th body. How many bodies he has inhabited is best left for another video. One thing I will say is the fact that the first incarnation of the Master we see on TV as the Time Lord in his 13th body means that there are potentially 12 Masters somewhere in time and space waiting to pop up and meet the Doctor. Now this sounds quite far-fetched, but what if I tell you one of these incarnations has already popped up? Yes, now in the official audio adventures made by Big Finish, and based around the series, there is an adventure where the first Doctor, portrayed by David Bradley, meets the first Master. This means the Doctor Who universe is happy to show past versions of the Master before the Delgado incarnation. So, the Master could return to Doctor Who either in the form of the character from the past, distant or recent, with a functioning TARDIS allowing the character to pop up at any time. The new Doctor might need to keep a lookout for an old frenemy. The Master is a character who literally refuses to die, and when he decides to die, he gets resurrected. The Master has come back from death so many times it's extremely unlikely this is the last we will see of the character. Now, away from the story and back to, reality for a second. I don't think introducing the Master into Series 11 would be a brilliant idea, as we've seen quite a lot of the character in recent years. So a break, even if it's for only one series, I think is a great idea, and would really work at make a shocking return of the character even more amazing. Now everything I've said is essentially theoretical, so I'm not stating it as fact. So, do you think the Master will return? If not, then do you think the Doctor will have a new arch-enemy? And if you think the Master will return, how will he or she do it? If you have any ideas or theories about how the Master could or would return, then please leave them in the comments below. It'd be great to have a little discussion going on in there. And with that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.